Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome back to Namaste. So beautiful to have all of you here. Let's just dive right into our daily word lesson today, which we'll be singing and sharing. And we're going to do that in a slightly different way today. We're going to do it in a very fun way. Let me put this, actually, before I put it up on the screen, I'll tell you what it says and then how we're going to do this. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. So, how we're going to do this is we're going to sing and we're going to look wherever we are. Like if we're here at Namaste, I want you to pick someone and I want you to look at them and I want you to sing this to them. So, you're going to sing it to Ravi, you're going to sing it to whoever it is that's near you. And then when we do it the second time, turn and sing it to somebody else. Those of you who are here on the Zoom, I'll invite you to either look at someone who's next to you there in your room, or you can just have the scene here on gallery, so you can just look at different individuals and extend the light, extend the love to them. So let me put this up on the screen so you can see it well. All right, here we go. So let me sing it a couple times, then pick somebody and sing it right to them. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. Okay, look around. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. Can you feel that? I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. If there's a cat or a dog, sing it to them. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. God within is a guiding light, a healing presence of peace and good. I give thanks for this presence through which I live and breathe. These abundant gifts are all I would offer the holy child of God. Here we go again. Ready? I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. Once more. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I love you. So let's listen to the daily word now. I affirm the highest and best for you. My prayers of love and faith are among the greatest gifts I can give to a friend or loved one. No matter the nature of my concern, when I envelop my dear one in thoughts of wisdom, peace, wholeness, and safety, I am at peace. Enfolding my dear ones in prayer, I release worries and become a channel of peace. I affirm, I love you. God within you is a guiding, healing presence of peace and goodness. I give thanks for this presence through which you live and breathe. You beautifully and abundantly express your divine qualities and claim your good. I then breathe deeply and utter a prayer of thanks. In gratitude and love, I envision the highest and best outcomes and feel assured that all is in divine order. So let's sing this one more time. A little softer, a little slower. And maybe this time, think of anyone in your life that you've struggled with, that's been hard to affirm. Maybe you can imagine looking at them and sharing this same blessing as a way of healing and rejoining. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Oh yes, I love you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I love you. I hope you can feel that energy. One of the things that this lesson says is that when I offer all of these gifts to another, I am the one who receives them. So why would I withhold when I'm only withholding from myself? And I know I and you and we all can feel very justified in our withhold. There are times when we want to feel like the victim and to say, well, this person did whatever it is we think they did. And maybe they did. Maybe it's true. But does that still justify me holding back this love, this light, this peace from me? Because that's all I'm doing. This whole teaching is that whatever I withhold from thee, I'm withholding from me. And therefore, whatever I give to thee, I'm giving to me. And giving to God, giving to all. Whatever I am vibrating and putting out into that vibrational field, we're all going to feel. This is that collective consciousness. And my role is to choose to give only love, no matter what. And that can be a challenge, right, Bethel? That can be a challenge. Because we want to justify our beliefs, our position, our whatever it is that we want to justify every moment. We want to believe that I have a right to do whatever it is I'm doing because this person X, Y, and Z. I actually had a situation where I discovered last night some very unsettling things about someone who had been a very dear part of my life. And there were some things that were happening that I was not aware of at that time. And a grievance began to form. And I felt very justified in holding on to this grievance because this person had done what I believe they did. And yet, in this prayer, when we were singing and when I just spontaneously said, now let's think about someone that you have a grievance with, someone that you have struggled to love or to hold in the light. Let's sing this to them. That's the person that I imagined. And I could feel it dissolving. Every time I would say and sing those words, I would feel myself falling back into love again. Because the circumstances don't matter. I can use those circumstances to justify holding back my love. But if I know that I'm only holding it back from myself, why would I do that? And I know you know this. Every single one of us has heard this before, but living it, that's the key. That which I give to thee is received by me. Many, many years ago, I put music to a prayer. It's my favorite prayer that I've ever put to music, probably my favorite song that I've ever written. I've sung it thousands of times, and it comes from a prayer that Mother Teresa wrote, where she took the one part of the prayer of St. Francis, which is that line, "It is in giving that we receive," and she amplified it. The prayer begins by saying, "When I'm hungry, give me someone that I can feed. When I'm thirsty, give me someone to give a drink to." I'll play just a tiny bit of it now. When I am hungry, give me someone that I can feed. And when I am thirsty, give me someone who needs a drink. And when I'm cold, give me someone to keep warm. And when I grieve, give me someone to console. And when my cross grows too heavy and its weight I cannot bear, and when I need someone to hold me, and it seems no one is there to lighten up my heavy load, give me someone who's in need. And when my eyes are blind to what is holy, let me see the Christ in the eyes of each one whom I feed. Let me see the Christ in the eyes of each one whom I feed. That's the goal. To be able to look through, to be able to see truly that all I'm ever really looking upon is the single extension of the love and the loveliness of God. Once again, the single extension of the love and the loveliness of God. That's what the Christ is. As Richard Rohr likes to say, Christ is not the last name of Jesus. Certainly Jesus was the Christ, but so are you. And so is that other person that you're holding the grievance with. And if I deny that to them, guess who else I'm denying that to? Me. Why would I do that? I want I call this divine selfishness, because it's the only thing I want. It's the only thing I'm going to give. I'm going to offer this gift to everyone. And if I forget, if I find myself beginning to hold on to a grievance again and justify, well, this person did X, Y, and Z, and I'm perfectly justified in being angry at them, just hold still for a moment, take a deep breath. Maybe this lesson will come back to you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. It's a good beginning point. I may be angry, I may think that you did something, but I can still affirm the highest and the best for you. And in doing so, affirm the highest and the best for myself. This is the most simple, clear, direct, spiritual lesson that we can learn. It's perhaps the most important, and maybe is the trickiest. Maybe it's the hardest, and maybe it's the easiest. It's kind of all of it, isn't it? If I commit myself to this, it's not difficult. It's just that I'm so accustomed to all of those attack, grievance thoughts that run through my mind with such habitual energy. But if I can make the commitment to just notice them and then come back to, I affirm the highest and the best for you, to give that away, to let that prayer resonate through my mind. That's why having these songs at the beginning of our sessions can be so important, because they can get stuck like an earworm. That's the whole intention. I remember 6 years ago, whatever it was, when I put the entire workbook of A Course in Miracles to music. That was the idea, for them to be little chants that would get stuck in your mind, that you would be able to remember, or you just find yourself walking around singing, I affirm the highest and the best for you. Let's sing it one more time, okay? I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. Now maybe think of someone, maybe not someone that you know personally, but someone that maybe you see on the news that you really struggle with. You know who I'm thinking about. I'm going to sing it to him. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I affirm the highest and the best for you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I love you. That which I withhold from thee, I withhold from me. And I'm making the commitment, and I hope you can join me in that commitment today, to withhold nothing that is true, to withhold nothing that is loving or whole, to give it all away. That's what Jesus meant when he said, if you want to enter into the kingdom of God, give everything away. Give everything you have to the poor, or in other words, to those people who you are making poor through your projections. And give them your love instead. Maybe you'll choose to give them money or something else, but give them your love. Even those people who annoy you the most, maybe especially them. Because that's where the greater gift is for you. So, Vicky and Teddy are not with us today because they had to go to a doctor's appointment for Teddy.
No,
so
Jimmy, today I'm here. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We're here today.
All right. Well, good. I was just rambling on because I didn't think you were here. But
we're here.
Perfect. Good morning.
Good morning, James. Good morning, everyone. And what a beautiful lesson, because it encompasses the whole application. It's really like all we're here to do, and I love the example of Mother Teresa, is to break the spell of disguises. That's all we're here to do. You know, some disguises we believe in more than others. Sometimes some political disguises seem more real than other disguises, or personal errors seem more real. Then it's just a disguise. It really is a stage, and everyone's got a costume on. And when we break the spell of the disguise, then there's nothing left but to recognize that we share one light. But like you said, the way out is simple acceptance, letting ourselves feel and be what we are, but moving into gratitude. So for me, the gratitude that opens me up again when I'm hurt with someone or upset with someone or confused, I remember two things. First, that there's a greater plan, and in the Spirit's hands, this particular situation is helpful. I don't know how. It may be a terrible thing. It may be on, to my eyes, look like a devastation. But in the hands of Spirit, this becomes a blessing if I let it be in me. If I become the altar where I'm willing to let it be transformed into a blessing. And then, whoops, I got lost. Then the next thing is just remembering, thank you. I don't get any of it. Knowing I don't get it is the most helpful thing. I don't get it. I don't get why this person did this or this situation is happening over here or there. I don't get it is what opens me up to say thank you anyway, that through all of this, Spirit works, Spirit heals, Spirit brings to life the light that we are. I won't interfere with that. I won't try to fix it or solve it. I'll follow the guidance as it's given to me in every situation, and I'll bless everyone and everything in recognition of the light that we already are. And that's what today's lesson is, affirming only goodness for everyone, no matter the disguise anyone's wearing, no matter the script they're holding, the disguise they're wearing, none of it's so. It's what Jesus says over and over, my brother, this isn't so. It just isn't what it seems to be. And thank God I don't get it. And not letting my mind dwell on any hurt or grievance, but not pushing it away. That's the fine line of healing. And you described it with your experience the other night of realizing some past things that came up. Allowing yourself to be and feel and refusing to engage it, allowing it, those feelings to come up, to like clouds in the sky, come up and pass, but not engaging it, not running with it, not taking on a whole thinking with it, but letting it be the very fertilizer for a deeper healing. Everything is for a deeper healing. Thank you, God, that this disguise is broken in me, that I don't believe in war or rape or hatred or any of it. Thank you for breaking those spells of misbeliefs in my mind. Thank you, Brother James.
Yes. Thank you, Vicky. I love this whole thing of letting the disguises be dispelled. And the idea of everyone having a script, a costume, it's like a huge play. This is a very big stage. You know, all the world is a stage. And me holding you to your script is me saying, this is who you are. Me holding you to the role that you're playing. Some of us play very nice people in our roles. Some of us play villains in our roles. And for me to look at you and say, you're the villain, when the truth is, that's just a disguise. That's a costume. There's going to come a moment when the play is over and we take off those costumes and we walk out the stage door. But what happens if everyone walks off the stage door, but I refuse to take off my costume and I just stay there on the stage, making true all of those silly ideas that were on the script? We don't have to do that anymore. We can lay down our costumes now, our identity, who we think we are, then accept the truth of who we are, that which is seen and known by God. We can call that the Christ, the beloved, whatever you want to call it. But it is the single extension of the love and the loveliness of God. Thank you, Vicky.
Thanks, James.
Is Teddy there with you?
I'm outside, but I think he's inside. Teddy, are you there? He was coming on. Yeah.
Here I am, Lord. There's two things based on what you guys have been talking about. There's a line in the Course, and Jesus says, all things work together for the good. And you're only getting the result of your own thinking. It doesn't matter what anybody does, all things work together for the good. And whatever you're thinking about it, one way or the other, you're only experiencing the effects of what you're thinking, and that has nothing to do with what the other person did, does, or will do, because the end is certain. The outcome is certain. There is no world. There's never been a world. It's a complete illusion, and everything is working back to the point in time, back to the point before time began and after time is over. And if you think it's going another way, so be it. You're going another way. But there is only one way to go. Everybody is awakening. Everybody plays an equal part. There are absolutely no bad guys. Nobody has ever done anything to harm you. And you're always and only getting the result of your own thinking. That includes people who get murdered. They agreed to get murdered because they wanted to be murdered, and their brothers helped them to get murdered. All things work together for the good, and you're only getting the result of your own thinking. Period.
Them some fighting words. Not really, but for people who want to hold on to what you just described, yeah. I mean, the idea that I chose to get murdered is like, whoo, that's a hard one to get. But it must be true on that level. Now, that's not the level on which we are consciously dealing with, but it must be true if this is an illusion, if this is a dream. Now,
It's unfortunate that you're not consciously dealing at that level, because it's the only way you can keep yourself from being fearful and also experiencing pain.
Mhm.
If you're not working at that level consciously, you will experience pain and try to blame somebody else.
Yeah.
If you're not working at that level consciously, you're going to think something is going wrong and eventually blame God.
Okay, beautiful. So we don't have it open fully for comments, but I do love to hear from Baraka once in a while, and he has his hand up. So we're going to go ahead and turn to Baraka for a moment and see what he wants to share.
Good morning, everyone. I've been contemplating the damage that my thoughts are doing to my own spiritual growth and the growth of the sonship. And I realize that there's only one thing that God wants, and it is the same thing that God knows He has already, and that is my love. He wants He wants only for me to acknowledge the fact that I and God are one. And if I hold that back from God, I am not hurting God because God knows the truth. I am hurting myself and the sonship because I and the sonship am one. I am here only to be truly helpful, and for that to be absolutely true and to be the absolute function of my life, I only need to do one thing, and that is to love. To love myself, to love the sonship, to love the God that has extended his love into the sonship, and love is all there is. I will be here as long as I wish for something other than that. I will think myself here in this world, in this dream, as long as I wish or dream that anything else but love is the truth. Thank you.
Mm. Thank you, Baraka. That brings me to a quote that we shared yesterday and might be good to share one more time. This Franciscan named Bernardino della Lorenzo, who said, "Just as God gazes at us with love, so are we to have a simple gaze of love toward God or toward love itself. Therefore, think nothing. Don't try to think your way into this experience. Rather, trust love, which is God, to bring you toward your goal." So just trust love. Some of these ideas and concepts are difficult to wrestle with. But as I always say, if we are as uncompromising as with that as God is with us, and what I mean by that is God's love is uncompromising. God's vision of you is uncompromising. It doesn't change. God's love for you doesn't change. It is eternal whole. It is unaffected at all by all these silly ideas and dreams that we have. And when we are as uncompromising with this truth as God is with us, the experience happens on its own. So be uncompromising. Even if you hear something that is like, what? What are you saying? Just hold to that. You don't have to figure it out. Just consider the possibility that there's something here for me to get. When we hear that these are all costumes, these are all just scripts and disguises, and part of us wants to say, wait a minute, that person really did something. I'm not going to let you off so easy. Let him off easy. Experiment with that and see what happens. I'll tell you what'll happen. You'll get happy. You'll be free. That's what'll happen. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vicky and Teddy and Baraka and all of you.